Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Real quick before we get into our Sunday upload, got two things for you. One, hope you guys are all having an amazing Sunday. And two, I would like to take just a quick minute of your time. No, it is not to talk about your car's extended warranty, but I'm reaching out to the Courtland family here and all the rest of our automotive enthusiasts and friends and family who all know Mr. Fabian, the Big Spud, Big Spoon, however you may know him. He was involved in an accident a little while ago. He is recovering, he's doing well. However, as you guys know, medical bills, they'll bury you any day of the week. So the redheaded ginger himself over at Ginger Snap Customs, they have created a decal. And they will be handing those out this upcoming Sunday at Smith's Creek. However, we won't be there. We're going to be in Centerville. However, we have purchased ours. I stand behind this totally because, again, this shit, it's expensive. It hurts. You know, we want our strong man back. So I'm going to switch it over to the Ginger himself, and then following his message, we'll roll right into the video. So thanks again, guys. No pressure, but thank you again.
Hey, Courtland family. Guess what? Fabian's awake. He's talking, walking. I'm kidding, he's not walking. But he's talking. He's awake. He's doing much better. But we need to do something cool. So, the Fabian windshield stickers, banners, whatever you call them, that Andy Schroeder of Pedal to Metal Pulling Hitches brought us for Armada. My wonderful better half, Jordan, will be cutting a whole pile of 3x10 Fabian stickers, and we're going to bring them to Smith's Creek. So, that being said, if you want one, we're going to do it as a fundraiser for Jason. They'll be 20 bucks a pop. I'm covering material costs, and all the money goes to his family to help cover medical costs. So, that being said, support our pal Fabian, our brother, our best friend, the machine, the Fabes. Come out and get a sticker, because he still needs all of our help.
Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are working on a Duramax starter. To be proper, Leah's starter. So what we ran into, and this is also why I spend time and I clean things up and use anti-seize. We have a refurbished starter that was already in the truck, but unfortunately with that plow truck life, we have her starter here in front of us. And it was actually right here, right there, the actual power wire for the ignition, which will activate it. So we have our new solenoid here from Merchant Automotive, whatever brand that is. So anyway, what we're gonna do real quick, per usual, is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna clean the starter up, and that way it's easier to work with, and then we'll go ahead and we'll tear it apart. Big thing to remember when you guys are doing the solenoid is to make sure the orientation of this little spring right here, make sure that it's in the right spot when you go to put the new solenoid on, because the way that it sits in here, which that little guy right there, he just kind of hangs out. Make sure that you set that little guy correct. I remember I played hell when I did Lola back in the day. It did not work out well for me in my favor. So just food for thought. We have done this. We actually did this on Lola before. I think I mentioned that. And actually, I kind of prefer to put fresh solenoids on them rather than buying an auto parts store starter, only because of generally when they put the auto parts store starter together, they only fix the parts that need to be fixed. They don't fix the wear parts. So usually what I'll do, okay, that's a lie, I won't do it, my wife does it, because she's got a niche for rebuilding starters. She'll tear them all down, look at the brushes and everything, and if they need to be replaced, we'll replace them. And it's actually easier and cheaper to get OE components than it is just to get another starter with a warranty, which, don't get me wrong, sometimes just getting the starter with the warranty is the way to go. But I've been in a boat before where I've put a starter in there and it actually took me 2 or 3 before the damn thing even worked. So to each his own. I'm not saying that's the end-all only way to do it. That's just how I do it. So, and I know I said in the last video that we were going to clean this thing up before putting it in. And I meant to. I still might. I might not, though. But instead, we put the transmission and the rest of the driveline in the truck. The drive shafts are in it. With the holiday weekend, we have to wait for Freightliner to open so we can get more of our Transcend fluid, because that's all that I run. But anyway, I'm going to throw the tires back on this, drain the front diff, drain the transfer case the rest of the way, swap the fluids. We're going to get her on the ground and test out our new starter too. Quick, I want to jump in here and I'd like to back up a little bit because I would like to talk to you about your car's extended warranty. No, I'm just playing. But when I did I kind of ran through that breakdown of how to do that starter solenoid. I did that pretty quickly. And I want to go back and hit on this because I remember the first time that I did this on Lola years ago, it bit me in the ass. I can't tell you how many times, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this in here so that way somebody else out there doesn't go through the same frustration that I did and become a professional in installing and dropping a Duramax starter because you got to do it about 100,000 times. So let's take a closer look real quick. Okay, so we have our starter here. When you separate the starter or the solenoid from the starter, you can see we have our spring here. And then we have our little plunger doodad in there, which, be careful, this will slide out. And also you want to make sure that the orientation, the flat parts here, when they go in, you want to make sure that they are, I guess you could say clocked the correct way. That way they fit in between this piece like they should, and it allows this to engage, disengage, all that good stuff. So when you go to put this on, there is a zoom in. So when we look on the inside of the starter, we have this little I don't even know what you would call that, but we have this piece of linkage that sits in here, and what happens, too far, is that linkage sits inside of this notch right here, right? So, you know, pretty simple, you know, you toss it in there and you go. Well, the thing that you got to be careful of, which this is where I screwed up, take this rubber piece right here and just pull this out completely. And this right here is actually what engages your starter gear to move forward. But pull this little guy right here out. And basically, what's going to end up happening is oops, I'm upside down. This little guy is going to lock into here, and this is going to clip into here. So if you have an instance where, you know, if you just kind of shove this in like that, as soon as you put power to it, this is going to think that it's engaged, because it's actually going to push out on your, or it thinks that it's pushing out on your starter gear. So this will actually free spin as soon as you put power to it. I know, because again, I learned this the hard way. Well, once I got this locked into place, but I didn't necessarily have this, when you would go to start it, engage the starter, it would kick this out and it would just free spin. Well, once I took it apart and looked closer and kind of got my head out of my ass, lock that into place like that, put it all back together, because I made a mountain out of a molehill, and it works just fine. So food for thought, don't make the mistakes that I did. You know, something, you look at this and something so simple and you're like, you know, how did you miss that? Well, to be completely honest with you, when I took it apart, I thought the same thing. Because when the pieces came out, you get a spring, a tab, and a little piece of linkage. How hard could it be? That got me too. So just food for thought here, okay? I screwed up, man enough to admit it. Hopefully this helps one of you guys. Now, back to our video. I think that's pretty much all we're going to cover today, or in this video, as far as action goes. Really, the only other thing that we've got going on with this truck is we started to set the gooseneck up in the back, which I'm either going to hack up this headache rack and refabricate it, because this dead space in here, man, it makes the bed tiny. But I do have plenty of room. Not as much as I'd like, but for the only few times that I am going to use this truck to haul that trailer, which actually I'm thinking the next time we're going to use Leah here to tow Lola into competition, because I kind of want to do more for myself mainly, but I'll probably do a video on it. Yet it's not going to make any sense to any of you because you're not in the driver's seat. But I sometimes, actually I've been saying it for a while, I think Leah here, my LB7, is a better work truck than Lana, my LMM. And I have nothing against Lana. You know, I love that truck. It's a loaded LTZ deleted tune, you know, and it's got a good amount thrown at it. You know, this thing right here, you know, it's a loaded LT2 truck. Every option that you could ask for on it, minus the sunroof and the sliding rear window. But the damn thing has everything else. But sometimes I feel that 5-speed is a little bit nicer than that 6-speed. However, that 6-speed comes with the, you know, available tap shift. So really you get the best of both worlds. This thing is fixed vane, so you don't get the, you know, the really nice deceleration that you do with the variable geometry charger. So there's back and forth, but I kind of want to try it out for myself. You know, I've always been curious. There's times where I've whooped on Lana and I'm like, man, like, you scoot, but there's other times where I'm like, kind of slow, you know. But I don't know, we'll figure it out. Also, in case if I didn't hint on it earlier, I didn't really film a whole lot in this video. Good buddy Bogema did come out and he did help me put the trans in there and get that all situated. We knocked that out on a Sunday afternoon, the Sunday before Labor Day, and I didn't feel the urge to pick up the camera, you know. Good buddy Bogema, I mean, the guy's a brother to me, so sometimes it's nice to, you know, just hang out, shoot the shit, and just get stuff done, and that's exactly what we did. So, but more to come. I fired this thing up earlier. It is still very low on transmission fluid, so we have to pick up more Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna make it to Freightliner today, but hey, there's always tomorrow. So I've been cleaning up. This place became one hell of a mess, and before anybody freaks out, I'm not draining these down the drain. They're draining into a bucket of oil dry, so not this time, EPA. Not this time. But I can't wait to put this thing back into service, because really I do miss driving it. Frankly, I miss the TV in the back. When we're traveling, keeps the kids at bay. Or because of this frickin' Rona bullshit, I still can't believe that we're dealing with all this crap. I'm not saying that it's not real, but some of the not the point. But sometimes with this, they proclaim this new way of life. I won't ever accept it, but, you know, there's times where we got to sit and wait. I mean, something as simple as, you know, going to a restaurant to sit down and eat, which we rarely do. You know, it's nice to be able to jump back in the truck, turn it on, kick the air conditioning on, kick the heat on. They can stay busy. There's shit on my lens. You know, and just like when we have to, you know, do these trips for sled pulling. The last one that we went to, it was Cass County. And, you know, they didn't allow my kids to be back there, which was bullshit because we all rolled in as a family. So we smuggled them back there. So if any of you are watching from Cass County, especially those of you that were like, unacceptable, no kids, I got you, brother. But we did. We snuck them back there, and we had them in the truck, and unfortunately for them, they had to sit and wait. So this truck does have its perks, and I miss it. So there's that. And also this one, if somebody opens the door into it, I don't really give a shit. Lana, I care. She's, you know, she's gorgeous. But anyway, I'm rambling, talking about shit that don't matter. You know, YouTuber stuff. I'm gonna somewhere around here with my annoying ass buttons. But yeah, that's it, guys. So take care. Be good to one another. God bless. We'll see you on the next one, guys. This is more for me, but to anybody that needs to hear it, keep your head up. Keep taking those steps forward. Only you can stop you. So be good, guys. See you on the next one. Peace.